everyone, I'm Dan Albers, and welcome to This Week in Anderson on Dingo and the Coach. I am Dingo, and this is the coach, Steve Ellis, coming fresh off of practice, and we're excited to have our next guest here, Adam Norwell. And
yes.
We've been trying to get him on for a while, and like I said, he and I were texting back and forth, and he was a little upset that he was number 80 on our. It would actually be 81.
Yeah.
So he's a little upset that he was 81, and I agree with him. Should have probably been a lot earlier, but I think we tried. We tried a couple years ago. We just couldn't get it to work out.
Well, the big thing is he's here now,
right? And
I can't wait to get into it because I coached him when he was little. He's the ultimate competitor. But as I was telling you before, I hope there's film out there to show younger guys what guts is all about. This guy, he had a will to win and a fire in his belly, and it was just so fun to watch.
Yeah, and I'm sure there is a lot of film out there, not only of him but his brothers and everything else. So I'm sure we'll be able to see that. But I'm excited just to catch up on all the stories. You coached them, so we get to hear some of those stories.
Legendary family.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. So as we said, joining us is our guest, Adam Norwell. And Adam, thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate it.
Great. It's great to be here tonight. Finally made it. I'm very honored to be here. Great show you guys got going on.
Yeah, we appreciate it. So let's get started right away. Let's talk about growing up in Anderson, what it was like, and what side of Anderson you grew up in.
I'm from the Summit Estates, as you're well aware.
And there it is.
There you go.
The Northern Lights, we call it. The Southerners. So you're north of Beachmont, and we got the Southerners south of Beachmont.
That's right.
Steve, we got again,
just a great neighborhood down out there. And of course, Vince Siriano family live right behind me. We got the Albers right in front of me, basically.
Yep.
And we hit, Marty Brenneman out that way. What a great subdivision. A lot of great families. If I missed all the families,
you can go on and on and on.
Yeah,
there's so many.
Great neighbors and everything. It's just a tremendous community. I'm glad Dad chose it. I started a kindergarten over here in Anderson, and I'm proud of it. So we came here.
So did you guys move here, or?
Yeah, we was in Green Hills for a little while.
Okay.
Which is now would be Winton Woods High School area. And they shut down Green Hills High School.
Yep.
And it's all Winton Woods. It's a big school now. So, but we moved out here when I was 5 from kindergarten, and
man, I tell you what,
they're still at the same house, Mom and Dad.
That's amazing.
Just imagine, like, if you would have found a house in Milford or something.
Well, I mean,
how much different everything would be.
Well, you think about that.
You can't imagine it.
Yeah.
I mean, you really chose
the great neighborhood and great community.
Yeah. Well, we're all lucky.
And the coaches in here, the coaches made the difference at this school. Great coaches all the way through. I'm talking pee-wee ball, from baseball, basketball on.
Yeah.
I mean, incredible. Think about that too. I mean, it makes you wonder, like with me, with my parents moving from Norwood, decided to move here. I would have never met you. Would have never met a lot of the people that I met. Who knows where my life would have went? You know what I mean? Back then, Norwood was a pretty good place to live.
Yep.
And I have no idea why my mom and dad chose to go to Anderson. My dad was a big, Catholic boy at Purcell Marion.
Yeah.
Why didn't he put us in a Catholic school? Thank God he didn't. Because I don't know if I would have survived in a Catholic school. But just amazing. All this. Seriously.
Did you say thank God he didn't put God. In a Catholic school?
I didn't. I don't know if I would have lasted. So.
That's right. All right. So Adam, you went to Summit Elementary.
Yes.
And then after Summit, where did you? What did you go to? Was there Anderson Middle School? What was the situation?
There was. It was Anderson 7 through 12 then, and I don't know what year they started that, but it was 7 through 12 at Anderson High School.
All right. Well, what year did you graduate?
97.
97. Okay.
So I don't know if you guys remember when they went to the 7 through 12. Was it long before?
Yeah, it wasn't too long because maybe, I don't know, because we graduated in 86, and when we were in 8th graders, we were the last 8th graders at Anderson Middle School. And then they had, if you remember, Forest Hills Junior High, which is where...
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, that was where Mercer was, over in Turpin's parking lot there. And then that went away, and that's when they all went to the high school. Everything.
Great.
So you were at the high school 7 through 12.
Yes.
And so you're walking the halls as a 7th grader with seniors.
That was an incredible experience, because I remember Siriano was been there for a few years now, and the football team was really good even when I was in 7th grade.
Yeah.
I remember watching Lou Andriatis.
Sure. Yeah.
Jake Andriatis, Jason Druso, all them guys, the running backs. I know them because they got the ball.
That's right.
Them guys, but just an incredible amount of talent went through that school in football and everywhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, just a tremendous athletes all over the place, swimmers, you name it.
Yeah. So,
I mean,
did you play football?
The baseball team, even the baseball team.
Baseball was really good.
Unbelievable.
Paul Campbell was the coach. Dude, when you were going up, 7th grade on or whatever, what sports did you play?
I played basketball, football at Anderson.
Okay.
And I was playing, a little bit of baseball too. Then.
Okay.
I don't know if Anderson had the 7th and 8th grade baseball. I don't think
so.
They did. Yeah. It was not. I did a little bit of knot-hole maybe or some stuff like that, but I remember playing baseball a little bit. I took a couple years off. I pitched a lot when I was younger.
I remember you playing baseball like your freshman year or sophomore year.
No, I didn't play till my senior year.
Oh, was it your senior year?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I came out for baseball my senior year, but growing up, baseball was my sport. I got real good, and thanks to coach, one of my first coach was Rich Evans.
Rich Evans.
Yeah. And was a great coach. Lived over in some of the states. I'm sorry to be in.
Some of the states again.
Some of the states.
There it is again. Yeah. All right.
But great coach. He started us out real young, and had a batting cage on the side of the house. He had a batting cage in the basement, and he was actually coached basketball too with me for a few years there too that I remember.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had basketball camp outside one
no kidding.
week. We stayed at Kenny Evans. I grew up with. He was a friend. That was his son, my age. Graduated with me. It was soccer. I think he played soccer.
Really?
And
Yes.
I don't know if he played any other sports in high school. Baseball, I don't think so. And then basketball, he didn't. But soccer definitely. But he played baseball with me and everything up, basketball all the way up through Pee Wee leagues.
All right.
But I had great coaches there.
Well,
definitely.
Speaking of coaches, let's get into your high school football or basketball career, because you had a great career. I was fortunate to coach you a couple different times, but one was your freshman year, and you were so darn good that you got pulled up a little bit at the end of the year. But you ended up playing for a real young coach at Anderson, and Frank Brandy, and he just recently got his 300th win, and you were part of his first 10 or 20. So tell us a little bit about playing basketball at Anderson and playing for a young Frank Brandy.
Frank, man, what can I say? Frank and Dan Bartholomew.
Yeah.
I mean, just legends of the community. I mean, Hall of Famers, right? Like
they
Danny
are
right here.
Yep. They are. Yeah.
Just tremendous. Frank, when I had my college speech at school when I signed with Northern Kentucky, I said them two guys right there, Coach Frank Brandy and Dan Bartholomew, were like father figures to me. They really turned my career around.
That's awesome.
To do what I did at Anderson, it was because of them two guys right there believing in me.
Yeah.
Because I did have some struggles freshman year that you guys are probably aware of.
Well,
and then, but I can't say enough about Frank, and just a great, tremendous coach. He had everything organized, practice. He had his list. He kept in the back of his, so organized. We knew how to defend everything.
Yep.
We went over every screen, how to handle it, what the teams tend to do. We just were prepared. We weren't beating teams by 30 points. These games were coming down to 3 or 4 points.
Yeah.
And we end up squeaking the wins out. We were down at half a lot of times.
Yeah.
And so what great coaches do, they make adjustments.
Yeah.
He's a great motivator. He knew we could get it done, and he gave us the spirit, man. He gave great halftime speeches, I remember. Got after us.
Yep.
And he could pick us up when he needed to.
Right.
That's what a good coach does. And then Dan, like you said, was the glue of everything.
Yep. You have coaches like that care so much about you. You're willing to run through a wall for them.
Oh yeah. And Steve, you were tremendous too. I was a little guy at Cincinnati Recreation League. Would show up early Saturday mornings. You might have had some bloodshot eyes. You was a young guy. But you showed up and coached us. It was some fun times there, and even Pee Wee leagues. I had Coach Phil Sinkovich.
Yeah.
He coached many years in the little leagues. Was a legend there at Anderson as a teacher and everything else. We had fun classes. Psychology. Remember those classes?
Government class.
So, he gave a lot of his time, and then of course you had Albert's brother Moose, and then Coach Shoshkins over over at Summit.
Yeah.
That was a great basketball.
And that's still going on.
Still going on. That's unbelievable.
How about that?
That's great to hear.
Yeah, no, it's still going on. But
unbelievable.
My nephew's son is over there.
Coach Hoskins and Moose, and who was the other helper?
Strasball helped out.
Wow.
Now Mitchell.
Now was a great family behind us too. The cul-de-sac there.
Great Adam Turr and his dad help out.
Wow,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
how about that? That's awesome. Pretty cool.
So you helped Frank not only get on the map and get some wins, but I mean, it was like the first time they've had a winning season in quite some time. Who were some of the players that played on the teams with you?
We had Timmy. Our sophomore year, we weren't very bad, but we started off. We were 5-0, believe it or not.
Okay.
We didn't really beat anybody.
Okay.
I was a sophomore there, so I was starting a little bit my sophomore year. And we had Timmy Albers was just a great athlete.
Yeah.
I mean, all sports. Played all three sports.
All three.
It was awesome, And then we had a lot of seniors on there, like Trevor Ellison, and he played football. These guys played football.
Andy
college
Dorco.
Sports, Andy Dorco. Where'd he end up playing? He played
soccer at Wilmington.
Brent Rossner, how good of a soccer and basketball player he was.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, we started off that season, sophomore year, 5-0, and then we finished the season 8-12.
Yeah.
And we just couldn't get it done. And lost some close games. I wish I had some stats of that season, but we started off in a bang, and then we fizzled there a little bit.
But then after that,
junior year, we had the three seniors that did tremendous. We went 14-6 my junior year. We had Shane Klein, Billy Mulvihill, and Jeff McKay. Those good football players. Jeff and Billy and Shane were seniors.
Okay.
And Shane came over 1 year.
Yes.
He was a transfer, and it was just tremendous.
Where did he transfer from?
From Loveland, wasn't it?
I think so. Loveland. He came in this last year, and the three seniors brought us over that hump because we haven't had, a winning season, right, Coach, since 1982.
Since Frank's senior year.
Yeah. That was an incredible team from what I heard, and I think it was what Byron Larkin had to knock him out of the tournament. Young Byron Larkin.
He was a freshman
sophomore or something.
That next year was Moose's senior year.
Moose's senior year is when they had the last winning record, right? Yeah, because and then
Moose was 83.
83.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, Moose was 83, and that's when Sanders left. They had Gordon for 1 year, and they went 14-7 or something like that, and should have won in the tournament, lost in the tournament to Taft and Kennard Johnson.
Right.
So it's crazy that it took that long to have a winning record again. That's just crazy,
Yeah, it is, but it turned around there pretty quick. We had 2 good years, my junior and senior year. Senior year we went 16-4, so we improved upon our junior season, and I know our junior year we were king of the hill in that. That was a big deal.
Steve,
back then, I remember him yelling at us about that. No doubt how big king of the hill was. Beating your rivals.
That's right.
And McNick. I mean, it's probably still big today. I hope it is.
I don't think
do they even play McNick anymore?
Yeah, they do.
In basketball.
Yeah, but it's just not like it used to be.
Not football and nothing like that, right? It's not like it used to be. That was a big deal, and I learned that from the coaches.
Yeah, it was huge.
It was huge for them. It was huge for us at that era, to be king of the hill, and definitely junior and senior year.
It mattered. It mattered to you.
I do. We sophomore year we got beat by McNick, but they had a tremendous run in the tournament that year.
Okay.
Sophomore year.
Yeah.
But we improved the senior year. I was proud of that. Our winning record,
Yeah. Wow.
Unfortunately, we had a short exit. We didn't get a good draw. I don't know how they drew these sectional tournaments, but we did finally beat Taft in the regular season. We had really struggled with Taft and Woodward.
Yeah.
I mean, we came close to Woodward maybe 8 or 9 points a few times. We were always in the game, but we could never get over the hump. And then Taft was even closer. They beat us every year close. Games come down the wire. Then finally, my senior year at home, we took down Taft High School and that was a tremendous win. That was like wanting to get the monkey off your back.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, that was just tremendous teams they had. I mean, they won that state title, Woodward. I don't know what year that was, but man, they just had good teams. It was early 90s, or
it
what
was
early,
late 80s, early 90s when they were unbelievable.
Is that with like
they
Chip
had a
Jones
state
and all those?
championship. I know that. I remember it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I just remember them being tremendous to beat. We could not overcome them. They beat us in the tournament my junior year, and then Taft beat us my senior year. So I mean, it was just our nemesis.
Wow.
In the tournament, in the high school tournament.
That's
and then
crazy.
sophomore year, we got beat by Moeller. Moeller had a decent team. I remember that year. So I mean, it was a struggle getting. We didn't get nowhere in a tournament, but the seasons were tremendous, and we had some great. Mostly was the seniors. We had the great seniors my junior year, and then we had a lot of seniors on my year. So definitely
talk about that with when you're playing as a sophomore. Playing with Timmy and Dorco and all this. What was that like for you? I mean, that's a big move going as a sophomore. What was that? What was that like? Were you a little nervous?
I was intimidated, definitely nervous in those years because there's some big guys. Physical guys had great careers. But they taught me a lot. They taught me how to prepare, how to practice, how to get everything it takes to be an athlete. At Anderson, what it takes. And man, I tell you that we turned out to have some great years just because of them seniors right there, and they had tremendous careers. So I'm just a little upset we didn't do very very good our sophomore season, but man, we could have done a lot better. But that's the way it goes. It's sports.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy.
I mean, it's just a couple points here and there. We wouldn't have had great years at my junior and senior. I mean, we won close games. If you look at that book I brought, the old memories. I mean, 1, 2, 3 points almost every game.
God,
we had some blowout games, but it always comes down to good teams get the job done at the end, the little things, you know. And those guys, my sophomore year, they did all the little things. We just didn't get it together.
So I'm sure they made it comfortable for you to make it easy for you to get acclimated to playing, varsity basketball. So I'm sure that probably helped you a lot.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So how amazing is this? This just still blows me away to this day. That amazing that you set the all-time scoring record at Anderson High School only until your brother decided he didn't want to have any of that to do with you getting it, and your brother does it. But pretty cool to have the Norwell brothers, number 1 and number 2, and scoring at Anderson High School. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty strong. That's what we were waiting for. That during that little lull of losing season, we were waiting for the Norwells to come
through. That's right.
Come up. But Adam, talk about becoming the all-time leading scorer and how all that happened, because having a great career that you ended up having, which was so fun to watch. But then the guy that you replaced as a top leading scorer was there and everything. Talk a little bit about that whole time.
First off, when I was real young, my sister played real good basketball at Anderson, and I would go up to the games, and that's kind of what got me into being at Anderson. And that my sister had a great career up there.
Sure did.
And she tore out her knee, but she had a great basketball career. There's some good teams up there. So I was always up at Anderson around the gym. And I just couldn't wait to get at halftime to go out there at the girls' game and shoot. I mean, I just loved it. But it just brings back old memories. How long we lived out here, growing up, started real young, kindergarten. It was great. But let's see. But when I was 7th, 8th grade, I remember Scott Ham, he was a 1,000-point scorer. And I remember watching him play. And he was a great player. He played at Bethel, Tennessee, I believe. He went and played basketball at Bethel. So I watched him. I think Quatman was the coach. And I remember a lot of these, football games as a young kid watching all. I looked up to all these guys. I wanted to be out there. I wanted to be them,
But then you became the all-time leading scorer. So
well, see, I didn't know this. They kept it. Coach Braney kept that on the down low basically all season. I didn't even know I was getting close till maybe that week. They said, well, Frank and Dan and Coach Tom Remke, they all, we wanted the season to play out because we was having a tremendous season. So I didn't even know I was even close. And then suddenly that Milford game was probably one of my worst games of my senior year. They were just guarding me front and back. They had the little guys on me, just harassing everything. I just had trouble maneuvering in there and stuff. I ended up scoring 12 points that game.
Okay.
And then I think I only needed 7 or 8.
Okay.
I didn't know this going in.
Okay.
But I broke the record, and they figured I'd break the record that day. I was averaging 25 points a game as a senior there for a while, and about 13 or 14 rebounds.
Yep.
Thank God they put that book together. I can remember all this.
Yeah.
But so I was scoring a lot, senior year, a lot of points.
Yep.
So it was tremendous to have him there after the game, and he was there. He's a big guy. He was from the mid-'70s, right?
Yeah, Kevin
Galbraith.
Yep.
He was there to witness it. And not one of my better games, but it was very humbling experience.
Cool.
You know,
that's really cool.
He kind of like passed the torch. He handed the ball to me. And of course, my brother just whoops me.
Chris comes along
and you've seen the video. I don't know if the video's out there, but when I had to hand the ball to my brother, I shoved it right in his gut as hard as I could do it. But he was a big guy. He was a lot bigger than me, so he could take it.
Well, what an honor for you and your parents, your whole family.
Yeah.
For the careers you had.
And I think it's just for us as Anderson, high school junkies like we are, to witness the Norwells go through Anderson High School, all of them, and to witness all the great athletes, and for him both the Norwells to be at the top of the Anderson High School basketball is just phenomenal.
And we haven't even talked about the baby.
No, we have not talked about the baby yet.
Not so much of a baby anymore.
Yeah, no, he'd kick our butt if we said baby.
Yeah, that's right. Apologize for that. All right, so Adam, you go through, you have a great career at Anderson, all-time leading scorer. It's so fun to watch. What was the process like going on, thinking about what was your future going to be for college?
I had Northern Kentucky was at my games a lot, especially like Woodward Taft, the big games that we had.
Yep.
So we'd have Dave Beazle and Coach Shields himself would come out to the games.
Head coach, yep.
So I didn't have really big looks in far as recruiting.
Yeah.
I only had a handful of schools,
Okay.
I played the post.
Right.
I'm, in college, I'm almost the size of a guard even then.
Right.
So I never, stepped out on the three-point line, and I always wanted to get my points inside on them, 1 to 2 feet in. Just my style of play.
Right.
I just never wanted to settle for jump shots. I just wanted to work inside.
Yeah.
Use of my physicality.
Yep.
Use your body. I couldn't jump. I couldn't jump over a phone book, but I could shoot. I could shoot with my left hand. I could shoot with my right hand. And I had my moves, and I used my body.
Yep.
And that's what helped me have the success I did in far as scoring points.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't a three-point shooter. There's no doubt.
No, but you could score at will, though. So you ended up at NKU.
I only had, I went up to Wittenberg. I looked at that. A lot of the football players went up to Wittenberg. Beautiful campus there. The coach really liked me. I took Dad up there. It was a beautiful campus. We looked at the dollar amount. It's just a tremendous amount of money.
Yeah.
After all the help they could give you, and I had Cincinnati State looking at me a little bit. There was a coach from West Point looking at me, but I don't think I was too smart for that. I don't know if I would have qualified to go over there.
That'll straighten you out.
But NKU was kind of always there, and they did a lot of recruiting. They came to my Woodward games a lot at Woodward and at home, and they recruited me and scouted me a lot over there at Anderson.
Going from high school and then going to NKU, we'll talk about your career at NKU in a second. What would you say was the big difference as far as from the playing in high school to college?
Well, and just the physicality. You had to step it up again. Sophomore year, I was 165 pounds.
Dang.
I'm the smallest of the Norwell brothers. That's what they always tell me. That's the label I get. But I said I had the biggest heart.
That's right.
So I went after it the hardest.
There you go.
Maybe Andrew, though, on the football field. He was probably just as intense as I was on the basketball court.
Yes.
But
I've seen some pancakes that he's
I have seen some
laid out for some players.
Yeah, and let's see. But where were we at? Sorry.
That's all right. No, just talking about getting from.
I'm thinking of so many things right now.
Just playing, going from high school to college.
when I played at Northern Kentucky, I was an inside player. I didn't want to play outside. I didn't want to be a small shooting forward, anything like that. I was post player.
Okay.
So I was going against 6'8", 6'10" guys that were fit, 270
how tall were you when you went into how tall were you when you went into college?
Yeah, okay, that's where we was going. I was 160. This is important because this for the kids out there.
All right.
Because I had to work my tail off to change my body to perform the way I did as a senior. I was 165 pounds as a sophomore, thin as a rail.
Yeah.
And from training, lifting, and by my senior year, I was 205.
Oh, wow.
I put on 40 pounds of weight there.
Wow.
A lot of it being muscle. So, I got pretty strong by a senior. And then in the college, I had to get to about 235. I played about 235, and that really helped me. Yeah. But it's just the physicality and the height.
Holy cow.
And then everybody's good. It's that jump up.
Right.
You just got to.
Well, how tall are you? How tall were you?
I'm about 6'5", but 6'4", right in between there.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have some stats here, Adam. I want to look at this. So the 98-99 season, you averaged 12 points, 8 rebounds a game.
98, 99. That was the sophomore year then, maybe?
Yeah. You're playing with Craig Sanders, Conley, Lahan, and Nixon.
Wow, where'd you find all these notes?
And then
I'll get you
some great players I played with there, yes.
Yeah, then your junior year, almost 9 points and 5 rebounds a game, playing with Sanders, Conley, Lahan, and Marston. Scott Marston.
Oh, yeah, very good player. He was a transfer from VCU and had a short career with Northern Kentucky, but a good one.
Really?
He was 6'7" and could shoot the ball unbelievable like Sanders and Conley and Lahan. We had that outside-inside game. They'd honestly put me as we go small sometimes. I'd be the big guy inside. Yeah. And I'd work in there, and then I'd kick the ball out to these great shooters that we had in Northern Kentucky. We had some great teams.
Well, and basketball IQs. But listen to this. So that
we almost won 100 games.
Yeah.
Almost. It was probably closer to 90 games in my career at Northern Kentucky. In our sophomore year, we was really young. I think it was our worst year. We went like 16-12. But my junior and senior year were 27-5, 26-7.
Wow.
All right,
Made some runs in the tournament. It was awesome.
So your junior year, and you're really, really good. And your team, here's your starting lineup scoring. Okay. 12 points, 11 points, 10 points, 10 points, 9 points.
Pretty solid.
Just spread across the board.
Pretty solid right there.
Yeah, it's not like one person you need to stop.
Yeah.
Everybody. I remember the Cincinnati Post put an article in. We was nationally ranked, those years. And they said, homegrown and nationally known. That was a pretty good line. I remember that to this day.
Nice.
And we had some great players from around the high school area in Cincinnati.
Oh yeah.
Obviously LaSalle with Craig Conley, state champion.
Yeah.
Frank, we scrimmaged LaSalle a lot. He brought Shane Klein and Billy. We all drove over there and had open gyms every day after school.
Yep.
And Frank would be over there. Frank had it figured out.
Yeah.
He made sure we were going to be good those years. And we played LaSalle a lot in open gym over there, driving over there after school.
Sure.
Shane would take us over there.
Yeah.
I think we made it over there one time in 17-something minutes. We were flying. Right down 275.
That is fine.
Think about
that is
how far you got to go.
We didn't hit no lights up that chlorine.
Whatever.
Fine. Holy moly.
Wow.
So tell us about Coach Shields and playing for him, because obviously he's a legend at NKU. Actually, Northern Kentucky high school basketball as well.
Yes.
So what was it like playing for Coach Shields?
Just tremendous. I remember this to this day. His priorities in life. It was God, family, your academics, and basketball.
Yeah.
That was your priorities.
Yeah.
Just his faith and in Frank too, the same way.
Yeah.
Having God, in your life, how important it is.
Yeah.
And Frank was there and he taught us a lot in that area.
Yeah.
We worked the soup kitchens during Thanksgiving.
I remember that.
He gave back. He always gave back to Frank. He showed us how to be men,
Yeah.
Right.
And Shields was the same same way. Just a legend, Hall of Famer out there. I mean, I don't know how many wins he had in high school, just tremendous. And then the teams he put together in Northern Kentucky with just local kids, you know.
Yeah.
Was he there? Did he retire after you played, or was he?
Yeah, he was there several years after I played.
Yeah.
But he was winding down his career. When I came in as a freshman, they had 2 straight seasons where they were national runner-ups.
Okay, that's what I was getting ready to ask you. And I remember being on television. I remember that was on television and all that.
They lost on like a last-second play on the one.
Was it to Bellarmine? Did they play Bellarmine back then?
No. It was some other teams. I don't remember what they were, but I watched the game on TV.
Yeah.
And what really attracted me in Northern Kentucky is when I went and watched the game and the crowd and then the students and all. I mean, it's a small gym.
Yeah.
It's like a high school gym.
Right.
But it was sold out. I mean, loud.
Yeah.
I think they were playing Indianapolis, and in Indianapolis could have some good teams out of there.
Well, look at the gym now. So you guys did that.
Oh, it's unbelievable. That arena.
Big arena.
My daughter, I drive past there. She's like, I want to go to school there. NKU, my little 7-year-old. She's got her life planned out. She wants to be a teacher. And she wants to go to Northern Kentucky.
That's awesome.
Do you know how many points you scored at NKU?
970.
What?
970.
Did you?
Oh
really?
my
gosh,
yes.
Adam, that's awesome.
But if I would have made my free throws, you young kids out there, if I would have made my free throws, I would have been 1,000-point scorer.
Wow.
So I had one year at Northern where I shot about 72% from the line, but the rest of the years were like around 60.
Okay.
And I think in high school I was that too. Wow. I just couldn't do the sit still.
Wow.
970.
I had to put
a shoulder into somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I think it was my junior year or it might have been my senior year. I was almost 75% from the field goal percentage. 75, 78%. I was proud of that.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's great.
And I was averaging maybe 9 or 10 points a game, but I was scoring efficiency.
I don't doubt it one bit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I had one game at Northern. I didn't score a whole lot of points. I had a game. My career high at Northern was like 28 points.
Oh, really?
In the tournament, NCAA tournament, and Sanders right behind me, 33. Old roommate and teammate.
Oh yeah.
Is Coach Shields still?
Yes.
Do you still talk to him? Keep in touch with him?
Well, he's still going up to the games and everything.
Is he
I
really?
think he just turned 81. I believe.
Wow.
So he's still going up to the games, and it's incredible. My son was real young when my son's 14 now. He's a freshman at Campbell County down there.
Okay.
He's playing basketball and football. So
good.
Good. We're going to check that out.
Yeah.
We have to check that out.
He said he could turn out to be very good if he could put some work in, just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of your son, let's talk about your family, your immediate family, and then give us an update on all your siblings.
There was 7 of us total, and I looked up to all my sisters. My wife says I got middle child syndrome.
I know what that's like.
I said I didn't get enough attention as a kid. I had 3 older sisters, and then I had 2 younger brothers and a younger sister. So and I was right there in the middle. And they were very smart. My sisters, all of them.
Yeah.
They're all a couple of them are nurses, and my sister Angela takes care of my mom and dad almost a decade now.
Okay.
Wow.
Been taking care of mom and dad, and she's got a lot of work. She's had a lot of work doing all that.
Okay.
We're blessed to have her do it.
Yep.
And I thank God she's doing it because it's very hard on her. And
sure.
And the family's been there to take care of mom and dad. So
yeah,
that's good.
And they're still kicking.
That's what families do.
Yes, what families do.
And then Chris,
he's had a great career. He's the head coach at Thomas More University now.
That's awesome.
And they're moving up to big time to
D2 now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So he was there quite a long time. He was waiting to get to the position, and it seems my wife follows him on Instagram. It seems like he's getting a lot of local recruits.
He just got a kid from Anderson, the quarterback from Anderson. He just got.
Yeah, I'm so happy for Chris.
And I mean, he knows the territory. He knows how to get all these kids around here. So I hope we can have some great years over there. It's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah. And he lives on the south side of Beachmont now.
Yes, he does.
Just so he doesn't live in Summit.
The Southerners.
All right, And then I think you have a younger brother that's pretty successful too.
Had a very successful career here. Maybe it's because all the great teachers and coaches we've had here at Anderson. I tell you that.
Yeah, well,
and that was the one. I got one regret here at Anderson. I never got to play for Coach Vince Sirianni.
Yeah, me too, man.
But, I mean, I could have though. But that's the thing. But maybe my senior year, them guys were tough.
Yeah.
My senior class, we had Ryan Josephoski, PJ Skiana.
Great team.
Running backs had, great. And Adam Turp inside. I mean, I'm just naming some guys off the top, but good football teams, and our basketball team was very good.
Great athletes in Anderson. Yeah, I'm telling you.
All right, but my brother, his career. I remember watching Chris too. Yeah, I was maybe done with Northern Kentucky, because I'm 6 years older than Chris, and I'm 12 to 13 years almost older than Andrew.
Wow. Okay,
so there's a big split in between the boys, So I was pretty much done with my career at Northern. I'd come up and watch Chris at football, definitely his senior year, and had one of the most incredible senior seasons I've ever seen.
Oh yeah,
as far as basketball and football. I'm going to be biased. He's my younger brother.
No, it's true.
It is true.
But I remember, playing. I was on we had that little Nerf hoop in the house, and I'd play on my knees with Christopher. I was a lot older. Play on my knees with him on a little Nerf hoop basketball. And then he's not going to believe this, but at his first year at football, he was 7 years old. He was like about 78 pounds, almost 80 pounds. And he was one of the fastest kids on the team when they did the lap around this.
Really?
This is Forest Hills Youth Football.
Yeah.
But I was at every one of his practices.
Really?
His first year playing football.
Wow.
No kidding.
I got to see him develop that year. Yeah. And he was just an unbelievable stud coming up, Christopher.
Yeah.
Because I got to watch a lot of him. I was in college when Andrew was like a little 5-year-old.
Okay.
I brought him up to stay with us in the dorm one time.
Did you really?
Little guy, Pee Wee.
Just a little guy, big old curly hair,
big curly blonde hair, man. We called him the fur ball, So that's been his nickname almost.
Fur ball. All right, so the youngest is Andrew.
But they were really young. But I did get to watch Andrew play a little bit at football on that. I've definitely watched the state. I don't think I was up at the state, but I watched it on TV.
Okay.
The state championship his sophomore year, and I think I might have been at the game. He got hurt his senior year when I went up to Columbus.
That was brutal.
He went down with a leg injury. Andrew, and it has made his senior year short. And then I talked to Dan Bartholomew the other day. My old coach was just a legend.
Yep.
But he was talking about it. I was like, the summer before that, his senior year, they were playing a bunch of basketball, and Andrew was just grabbing every rebound and looking good. I went over the post. I remember going over the post moves with Andrew.
Okay.
And his basketballs, his senior year, he would have had a tremendous basketball year.
Bet he
if he wouldn't have got hurt. He said, Dan said he would definitely been leading the city in rebounding.
Oh, I bet he would have.
So he was, he could come around as being a great basketball player too. I wish he had that senior year.
Yeah.
But I mean, he went through a lot of adversity coming injured there that game, and then it's incredible. I watched freshman year, he's getting in the game after coming off that injury at Ohio State his freshman year. He's getting in the game.
How about that?
And I was like, wow. What, I mean, a guy like as young as he is, coming off an injury like that, where he put the plate in his, in his foot and everything. And
I tell you,
man, that is just tremendous. Starting him off, coming in and playing right away, and Tressel recruiting him. Tressel, I mean, it's just so much history. Growing up, I mean, Dad took me everywhere. I mean, because my aunt owned a ticket office,
Right.
So Dad was a ticket scalper. So everybody knows my dad.
Yeah.
If you went to any sporting event in this town, you know my dad. He was selling tickets everywhere.
Yep.
But I've been to the Final Four and watched the UNLV get beat in Indianapolis at RCA Dome.
No
live.
kidding.
Live. I was at the game.
Wow.
And then I sat on the floor. Dad ran into this business guy. He had floor tickets underneath the basket against Duke in Kansas. That's after Duke upset UNLV. This is 1992.
Yep.
And I was on the floor. I was right by the basket where Grant Hill dunked that ball on that alley-oop.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I got some stuff. And I got to see my brother play in the Rose Bowl. And then, of course, Andrew brought us all out to the Super Bowl 50.
Yeah.
So I've seen incredible sporting events.
Is that like just absolutely incredible to watch your brother playing the NFL, playing the Super Bowl, just watching your brother.
That year they had was just unbelievable.
Yeah. He had a great year.
I mean, not just to be there, but to start and be successful as he has been. It's incredible because when you watch. I mean, when I watch Andrew, I don't know if they ran the ball 10 yards or not. All I'm doing I'm just watching Andrew.
Same thing.
Yeah,
and I just laugh because I just watch him. He's blocking 2 or 3 guys at a time and pancaking guys.
You know what I love about the Norwells, and especially like Andrew doesn't let the fame or like the big thing get to his head, because I'll never forget him coming in town, and it was the year when Anderson was kind of struggling in football, and we went up to Goodfellas or something one night, and he screamed, "Albert, get over here! What's going on with the boy?" He wasn't big time, and he's still the same guy he was back in the day, and that's a reflection on your parents and you and the Norwells and just how you guys are, and I think it's really cool that Andrew's like that.
Yeah, he just considered himself blue collar, just from his roots. Dad worked overtime constantly. Yeah. He did make all my basketball games. I don't know how, but he worked for the city of Cincinnati and wastewater treatment. He was a plant supervisor, but overtime. I mean, all the hours to pay for all his kids. Yeah. Just a tremendous work out of it. Mom taking care of us all. Yeah. Just unbelievable upbringing.
Set great examples.
Unreal. Yeah. Take care of 2 kids. I couldn't imagine 7 kids.
No way.
And it's just tremendous by the parents, what they did for the family to keep it all together.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we're going to try to wrap this up, and what we always do is we wrap up and talk about memories. So we need to get your favorite high school memory, your favorite college memory, and then maybe your favorite coach or teacher. So let's start off with favorite high school memory.
I'd say, since it was such bitter losses we had against Taft and Woodward, I'd say that win at home against Taft, very short-lived. But then we surpassed our season from our junior years to get 16 wins. Taft was one of the very last games. So winning awesome. That, and then beating our junior year's amount of wins, and it was short-lived because we had Taft in the tournament, and then they got us. We just couldn't put 2 halves together. That's usually what happened to Anderson and Lisa Meyer. We played one great half, and we just laid an egg the second half, and that's what happened in our tournament career. But you can't take away from the seasons that we had.
Yeah. What about
what great seniors I played with? Kyle Cochran. Ryan Manlove lived right behind me.
Yeah.
I mean, he could throw a baseball and hit his house. Right. Siriano, all of them right behind there. And that cul-de-sac right there. Yeah. That's where I played a lot of my basketball. Definitely your hoop over there, Albert's outdoor hoop. Yeah,
that's right.
On the street.
Yes, sir.
I give a lot of props to my Summit neighbors, because whoever had that street basketball hoop, I was out there.
That's right.
I was there.
Yeah.
So, and then
what about college? What about your college one?
Definitely my senior year, Bruce Pearl was the head coach at Southern Indiana.
Oh, wow.
And I remember in the regular season, we played them down there. The Screaming Eagles was their name. And these fans were screaming. And it's a bigger arena, 5,000. My uncle from Berea had a great career at Berea. And my aunt had a great career at UC basketball.
Oh, yeah. So
I think that's why the coaches, my freshman year, I don't think we got a chance to talk about that, how we had a turnaround. But we should go over that maybe.
Sorry.
That speech, the 3 coaches, I'll go over that in a minute. But we we got smacked in the regular season up there. Yeah. We didn't play very good. But we met them. We won the first game in the NCAA tournament. It was Grand Valley State University.
Yeah.
We scored 100-something points.
Oh, my gosh.
That was my career high. And then Sanders, of course, he whooped me. He outscored me that game. So 33, and I had 28, but we got past there. Then we matched up with Southern Indiana, which nationally ranked. We were up there too, but we upset them in the NCAA tournament.
Wow.
And that was just a fond memory.
Oh, that's cool.
Had great games. Conley,
That's great.
And Sanders, definitely. And I had the 2 tip-ins in overtime.
Really?
They're always wanting to block shots. They had some big guys in there who can jump and leap. And I was there on the other side to tip them in.
That's awesome.
In overtime. And then Lahan hit some big free throws, I believe.
Yeah.
my old teammate Lahan. So that was some great memories, upsetting him. Then we get beat by Kentucky Wesleyan. They ended up winning the national title, but they were my 4 years at Northern. They were in 4 national title games.
Wow!
And they won 2, but then I believe they stripped their titles away because I don't know officially, but they did strip some of both of them.
Wow!
I'm not sure officially, but they were doing some illegal recruits, I guess. Kids weren't going to class or anything.
Wow!
So I mean, but my dad always calls us the mythical champs.
Yes.
So that's what we say. We was a mythical champs.
Might as well call it. That's right.
And then, what about a favorite? You've mentioned some of them. Maybe so. Your favorite coaches or teacher?
A couple of teachers I keep in mind. Definitely Phil Sinkovich, who was the psychology, but then Mr. Dockery. I remember Mr. Loudenslager. Great teachers there. I had some. I apologize. So my younger days, I was probably ASS, if you want to call it that. I just wasn't listening.
Yeah.
Wasn't paying attention too well. Was kind of a smart butt,
Yeah.
So my freshman year, I mean, I had a big turnaround. I had to take some classes over my sophomore year.
Yeah.
And thankfully Frank and Dan, they 1 year I was fresh. It was maybe at the end of my freshman year. We had a great freshman year. I don't know. Did we go undefeated that year?
We lost 1 game.
I swear we had a great year.
Yeah, we did. We were like.
It was a tremendous year.
Yeah, it was. I think we were like 18-1 or something.
I know as freshmen, you got some of the guys that come up, from the freshman team playing JV. So it's just freshmen,
right?
But we had a great career.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then so they gave me this. I want to tell this story because they sat me down.
Yep.
Coach Giesting, Dan Bartholomew, Frank Brandy.
Yep.
They said, they brought me in. They said, we need to talk to you. They went down. We went down one of them little rooms. I forget what it was, a level underneath the gym. They sat me in there and they said, why are you acting the way you're doing? They sat me there. They put me on the spot. Yeah. And I probably sat there for forever, almost felt like 15, 20 minutes. And they were laying into me a little bit. They're saying, why are you doing the things you're doing? Why are you acting the way you are?
Right.
And I didn't say nothing forever. It was just, and finally I said, for the attention. Because growing up, I was always
the middle child.
Jokester, the middle child syndrome, the class clown, you would call it. Growing up in elementary school, I was always in trouble out in the hallway.
Right.
My sister would see me and tell my parents all the time that I was out in the hallway. But that's just my personality.
Yeah.
Right.
So I get in trouble a little bit. I wouldn't pay attention too much, wouldn't listen, that type of stuff. But I said, for the attention. He said, well, don't you want everybody coming to watch you play? We know what kind of player you can become. And then I was like, wow, that's what I need to do. Is
awesome.
Turn it around.
That's awesome.
And Dan and them and Frank turned it around.
That's awesome.
By my sophomore year, I got the grades I needed.
Yep.
I went to a 3.0. I had to take some classes over my freshman year. 2 classes.
Let me tell you
a great story.
And
Adam, let me tell you something.
Turned my life around there.
I've known that story since it happened, and they still talk about it, and they still talk about how proud they are of you to this day on what you did. And it wasn't like you had to have a major turnaround, but they wanted to help guide you, and you chose to do it.
I was always behaving in Coach Bartholomew's class, 7th grade. So if any of the basketball coaches had me in class, I was okay.
Yeah, well, but
Coach B.
Poor Miss Hendry, though, freshman year English.
Well, think about that for a second.
I was a troublemaker.
I mean, think about that. Guys, you can either go one or two directions.
Yeah.
You could choose which way you want to go,
right.
And you chose the right path.
Yep.
Those guys were there to help. I mean, again, I know this sounds weird, but the whole path of getting to Anderson High School, who knows? Would that happen? Would that happen in Green Hills? You don't know.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. So you took a good path and chose the right way to go, and look what you did.
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible.
Well, it did help them. They took so much and then they took so much interest in me, and I was like, wow, I was just a freshman, like going into sophomore year, you know. And I remember going to basketball camps in 7th and 8th grade. I had great basketball camps. I said, they remember me from the basketball camps. Doing pretty good. Yeah. So I could be somebody maybe the time I get up there.
That's right.
That's awesome.
Were. So they had a belief in me, and they kind of turned it around, got my grades up.
That's a great story.
And I don't know how I played freshman year. I had him bad classes. I guess the rules kind of, I know, like for my son, if they got any type of failing grade, they know about it. I mean, they're out. They're not allowed to play.
Yeah. I mean, they knew what it was. I mean, there was, back then, it was a lot lower, I guess.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, because
the rules are different.
The rules were different. Everything was different. But I mean, it's just a testament to you and your, what you did to get past it. So that's pretty awesome. But it's great catching up with you. We really appreciate it. I mean, we could sit here and talk 3 more hours just talking about everything. So we really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. And I know you got to head back to the Kentucky side, across the river.
Yeah, I used to tease my uncle all the time coming. I was like, once you cross that river 3 times, you're a hillbilly. Because he come out of Berea all the time.
Yeah, that's funny.
And now look at me.
Yeah. So are you a hillbilly?
I'm a redneck.
Redneck.
Well, I love the shirt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. My wife got me this shirt.
I love it.
That's awesome.
Well, it's good to see you.
Yeah,
Adam.
great seeing you. Thanks for and let the family and everybody know. We talked to one of your brothers at least. We talked to Chris every now and then. I still teach, but let everybody else know.
I got all your numbers.
Yes,
I made it up to the game, and we had that
power outage.
Power outage. That was incredible.
I know. I saw you cross the way. I was going to come and say hi, but then the power went out.
Did you make it up there?
I was up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to talk to you.
No, because everything kind of went.
I seen Frank and Dan Bartholomew was up there. So
and talk to them.
A couple of the old guys. Old Coach Molinex was up there.
Oh, wow.
Coach Giesting, I got to see.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Lahan, my college teammate, is a head coach at Little Miami.
Little Miami.
But
that's right.
They're going to remake the game up Tuesday.
Yeah. So you go to that.
Yeah, I'm going to try to go up to that.
Good.
Definitely.
Hey, do you want to see Coach Ellis in some action? You come this Saturday at UC Claremont. It's the Phil Sinkovich Classic.
Wow.
And Mr. Ellis here is the head coach of UC Claremont. So you should come and watch him and see if he does the same things he did back in the day.
Oh, he knows all about it.
Just a tremendous. I mean, Steve was right there from my little league on. I mean, just tremendous coach. And I'm just glad to see. I mean, your guys' career, what all you done for Anderson, Danny, is just tremendous.
Well,
all them old videos of the brothers. You can hear you
screaming and yelling
in the background.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
And then your family, of course. I mean, Moose over there in the Pee Wee leagues, the Summit. I've never seen such a physical stature. I mean, I just looked up to Moose. I'm like, look at that guy.
Yeah.
Should be playing linebacker somewhere.
That's right.
Yeah, he's Moose. Like you said, just all around here, we got great families. I mean, that's what makes the difference.
What sports did you guys play growing up? I know it's obviously basketball.
I was football and basketball. I tried baseball for 1 year.
I remember you talking about on a podcast about your basketball.
Oh yeah,
not good. I wasn't good. I wasn't very good. I was the raw guy on the end of the bench.
Steve, what did you all play?
I played soccer for a couple of years. Then I played basketball and baseball.
How'd you guys end up in '86 basketball wise?
We were actually 500,
and then we lost 3 or 4.
We didn't make it over the hump, but we were 500 for But then
and our schedule back then was brutal.
Frank's year, that '82, that magical year that they had.
That was awesome.
Who ended up winning it? Did Moeller go on and win
no.
State? They almost.
They made the Final Four, but they didn't win it all.
I wonder who won it all there. Man, they had a tremendous team. I respect all the players that came before me because I think the guys that played before me, like my uncle in that era back in the '70s, some of the best basketball players that I can remember from those colleges down there, Berea.
Well, you're kind of old. I feel you're kind of old school because that era you're talking about is before the 3-point line. Oh yeah. So you had to be tough.
Oh yeah. I grew up with Magic, Bird, and Jordan. I mean, what a time of basketball.
That's right. Those are the good old days. But man, we really appreciate it, and hopefully we'll keep in touch, and we'll get you up to one of these games. And I really appreciate it. Thanks for joining us.
See Claremont. I mean, we lost to Billy McCain. I just want to. We miss him. A great teammate. We lost him last year, but if anybody can get a pickup game with the good Lord, it'd be Billy McCain. I just miss the guy. Rest in peace, Billy.
We're going to honor him this coming Saturday.
One of my senior teammates.
Billy. Great dude. And we're going to honor him this coming Saturday at our classic.
And then and my buddy Tommy Ziegler, I got to mention Tommy. He did all the workouts with me in high school, and I got to tell a quick story. I'm sorry, but Tommy got real good at basketball, and a lot of people don't know about Tommy Ziegler. He come up to Northern Kentucky and almost walked on for us over at Northern Kentucky.
Wow.
But then he was real good. It got real good. He had a stress fracture in his back. Didn't get to play a whole lot his senior year or senior year. But he went up to Lewis University. Just guys that didn't have maybe a great career at Anderson, but he went up to Lewis University and made the team. They just wanted him to come up there and play, but it was just he wasn't getting a full scholarship or nothing. But it was just so much money. Lewis University is in our conference at the time in Northern, but he went up there, had a tryout, basically made the team.
Wow.
Tommy Ziegler, a guy that was hurt most of his senior year.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention my old buddy. He was phenomenally in shape. I mean, Frank Brandy had that ladder sprint thing we had to do for because I didn't play football, so I had to do all the conditioning for basketball. Frank put us through hell, and that ladder sprints drill what we did. And Tommy would whoop everybody. He was so in shape and physically, man. He's the one that was my buddy working out. I mean, he got me to where I was, Tommy Ziegler. So
that's awesome.
Good buddy of mine. I still kind of keep up with some of them.
Yeah, that's good.
And Ryan Manlove, great, my neighbor behind me.
Yeah, Ryan Manlove.
Keep up with him. He played all the way. I mean, my old books here. He got pictures with Ryan. Been on a team forever. But one of the fondest memories though was the 6th grade. We had I was in the championship game playing against Ryan Manlove. And then it was in front of the whole school. A lot of people don't know this that didn't go to Summit. The championship game was after school, and everybody in the school watched the game.
Yeah. Wow.
So one of my favorite memories was winning that game.
No kidding.
In 6th grade. I didn't win it till 6th grade, but I won the school championship 6th grade.
That's awesome.
And it kind of propelled me into the career I had.
That is awesome.
There's probably a plaque up there with your name on it.
There is.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I haven't been there by and seen it. I'd like to go see it. It's been many moons ago.
Timmy's on there too, I think.
Timmy's because I think it's right where right by the gym there.
Yeah, I think it's
in that lobby.
Well, we appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. So just great catching up with you. So we're going to wrap it up here. So for Dan Albers, Steve Ellis, and Adam Norwell, you've been watching Dingo and the Coach. This week in Anderson on Dingo and the Coach. We'll catch you next week.